now time for the spark behind the Big Bang to set this stage on fire. She is the youngest conference chair. She was the youngest district officer at District 82. She is the youngest Lady DTM in India.
She is the CEO of I Love Mondays. But with the kind of effort she's put into Reverberation 2013, I guarantee you that you love your Saturday and Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your conference chair of Reverberation 2013,
DTM Mala Mary Martina.
Thank you, Kavya. Hello? Yes, Kumaran. Really? Oh, all right. Thank you so much. I'll call you back. 6 months ago, I got an opportunity of a lifetime, and I said yes to being the conference chair for Reverberations 2013. So I decided to form a team. I walked up to Kavya and I said, Kavya, Reverberations is happening in Bangalore. Do you want to be the co-conference chair? She thought for one entire minute. And then she said, does that mean I get to buy a new dress? So I decided to go and talk to the 2B model, AJ. Ajay, co-conference chair for Reverberations. And he vanished to get a facial done. After working for over 6 months, we got advice from all over the district. Advice number 1, don't be the conference chair. You have to pay money from your own pocket. Advice number 2, can you imagine what that was? You have to work day in and day out so hard that at the end of the conference, you will forget your first name and your last name. Advice number 3, did you know Toastmasters is a voluntary organization? So volunteers can volunteer to back out of their roles anytime. And that's when you have to step up to the plate. Now, considering all these 3 advice that we got, we still put together Reverberation 2013. Respected Toastmasters and my dear guests, I decided to be absolutely honest today. So I'm going to make a confession. Over the past 6 months, I did not learn anything new. You got that right. I did not learn anything new. What happened over the past 6 months was validation. Validation number 1. If you work sincerely and you have a good intent, there are a lot of people out there who are watching your back. Validation number 2. Think big, do big. In the process, there will be a few mistakes, but that's how you learn. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to say that as on today, for the first time in District 82, we have 604 registrations. Thank you. Validation number 3, ask and you shall receive. But we didn't even ask. There were so many people across District 82 who came up to us not just from Bangalore and who offered not their support, but also their encouraging words. Thank you so, so much. On behalf of the entire R13 crew, I have just one thing to say. We are young. We're not asking you to forgive us. We are bold. We're not asking you to agree with us. But we are definitely willing to learn. And all we want to say is a gentle thank you for giving us this opportunity to put this conference together for you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next Big Bang. Thanks so much.
ladies and gentlemen, your conference chair, Mala Mary Martina.
From an artist, we now move on to an architect. He was a builder of homes and now a builder of people. He finds joy in training and enabling people and learning in the process. For him, training is much more than a profession. It's his passion. And for the last 10 years, he's been doing exactly that.
Monisha, have you heard of the great Bhishma Pitamaha from the epic Mahabharata?
No.
Well, Bhishma Pitamaha was a loyal and a brave warrior who always put others ahead of him.
But why are you telling me all this now?
That's because our district governor, ever so selfless, is just like the Bhishma Pitamaha. Except that he's married. And he's going to Thailand next January.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the Bhishma Pitamaha of District 82, Distinguished Toastmaster,
DTM Kumaran Peti.
Good evening, Toastmasters. I have a clarification to make with the introduction of my MC. He said, I'm going to Thailand in January. I got a typical introduction in the Division B conference and I have a typical answer. I learned from a statistics that 50% of men cheat on the spouses. The rest go to Thailand. Some men are still laughing. He called me the Bhishma Pitamaha of District 82. There are a few differences between me and Bhishma Pitamaha. Bhishma Pitamaha was old and eternally young. I am young, I'll get old. Bhishma Pitamaha never looked at women. I do. In fact, I have a confession to make. I'm in love with 3 women in my life, and I love them equally. They are my mother, my wife, and my daughter. I love men too. Sorry guys, I was speaking about my son. When I wanted to take up leadership, I decided to talk to the past district governor, Nagaraj Rao, on how to handle leadership. He had this strange take on leadership. He told me, if you have to become the district governor, you need to have 2 daughters. I asked him, how come? He said, Balraj has had 2 daughters and he became the district governor. Deepak Menon had 2 daughters and he became the district governor. And he said, I have 2 daughters and I became the district governor. I just kept quiet. Last year, Nina became the district governor. He called up and said, Nina has 2 daughters. And the point is, I have a son and a daughter. And if I had taken his advice, it meant I have to get into the production line. Thank goodness I did not take his advice, because raising children is like raising sponsors for Reverberation. People smile, clap, laugh at you, shake hands, and say, do it on your own. But there was one lady here who said, I will do raise sponsorship on my own. That is Mala Mary Martina. And Mala's not even married. I also noticed there's a subtle similarity between people who take up to become the conference chair, like the last Ovation conference chair and the Reverberation conference chair. They come single. they drive BMWs, and they wear designer clothes. Mala carries a Gucci. She carries a Jimmy Choo. I don't have a Choo. And when Mala actually came to Colombo and made some purchases, Colombo's economy went up. But Mala is called Mala Mary Martina now. In a few years, she'll be called Mala Mary Martina. But having said this, Mala was someone I asked to become the reverberation chair. I gave her nightmares with my constant advice. And some point of time, I thought Mala will run away with somebody. But Mala stayed back. And ladies and gentlemen, the proof of this is the people seating her. Give this girl a good round of applause. In the process of conducting a conferences, the intentions are pure, the attitude is right, some mistakes are bound to happen. The point is, the average age of this reverberation group is just 25. If your children make a mistake, what will you do? Some of you are going to kick them, I understand. But aren't you going to take them back in your fold and embrace them? Some mistakes are bound to happen. Today, a small little mistake did happen, but let me know. Embrace them like you do your children, and go ahead and say, have a great time. The team behind will say, thank you for all that. Having thought about mistakes, I recall my time when I was in high school as a very average student, but was good in sports. So I was the school champion for the 400 meters. At the finals of the 400 meters, I was standing at the front line, cocky, confident, and damn arrogant. I was so sure to win, and people were screaming my name. The race started. I entered the first round leading. I went on to the bend of the second round and turned back to see who was behind me. I tripped and I fell. I got up, wanted to run again, and the race was over. And I had lost. I had tears in my eyes, but boys those days are not supposed to cry. I bent my head, walked on to the gate, because I didn't want people to see me cry. And as I moved there, I saw a man I respected the most. My father was standing there. He had a fierce pride in his eyes, and he said, my son, you're a winner. The words that he said remain in my mind forever, my son, you're a winner. A few months away, my father passed away. But the words that he said remains with me up till now. And every time I fall down, every time I rise, every time I make a mistake, the words comes back, my son, you are a winner. And what happens then is, as I grew up in life, I slowly took the role of my father, helping people, making a difference to their lives, and patting on the back and saying, you are a winner. Isn't that what all of you are doing in Toastmasters? Joining this wonderful movement, evaluating, guiding, mentoring people. And look at the joy when your mentee comes on stage and speaks. When people clap, aren't you nervous? The joy of them speaking is your joy. But Toastmasters help others grow, because when they grow, you grow too. Having said this, Bhishma Pitamaha was a man who engulfed knowledge, wisdom, and learning. He was a father of note all. In Toastmasters, we have one such person whom I call the Bhishma Pitamaha. He, ladies and gentlemen, is Dr. Ram Jayaraman. Sir, I wanted to come on stage. Not only has Dr. Ram Jayaraman contributed to the movement by his learning and wisdom, a few months back, he gave a check of rupees 7 lakhs for District 82. We have created a foundation in his name through which the interest from this foundation will host activities for District 82 in terms of speech contests and debates in the name of Dr. Ram Jayaraman Foundation. Sir, I want you all to dream, to become better, to become good, to be the best as communicators, as leaders, more important, to make a difference to the people you with, to make a difference to the community and to become better human being. Thank you. Enjoy the 2 days of contest. Have a wonderful time. Take care.
Indeed, a very touching gesture from Kumaran Peti. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kumaran and Dr. Ram Jayaraman.
Now, Anmol, do you remember the stories your grandmother used to tell you when you were young?
What do you mean? I'm still young.
No. I mean the junior Anmol, the one before the Big Bang. I'm sure he must have heard stories filled with trees and rivers, barefooted games, and meals where everyone would sit and feast together.
Those really were the good times.
Today we present to you a piece of choreography set in the lap of rustic India. We give you
Dur Kinara.
Master. I think nostalgia is perhaps the most beautiful emotion. In fact, this performance reminds me of so many things, the times I used to spend with my grandmother back in her hometown at Kandy. Now, Anmol,
Yes,
do you
Monisha?
think that it's now time to introduce a very important person today?
Absolutely.
Well, without further ado, he is the chief guest for the evening. Now, he is the senior professor at the Department of Management Studies, Indian Institute of Science. He is also a visiting lecturer at many top universities in the US, France, Japan, you name it. He has also helped many organizations, the World Bank, the International Labour Organization, the DRDO, to name a few, and has also helped over 25 doctoral students.
As a corporate trainer, he has participated in over 1,000 management development programs. He was honored for his contribution to HR by NIPM.
Now, it is said the mark of a great teacher is someone who inspires you, someone who entertains you, and someone from whom you end up learning a ton even without realizing it. Now, this evening we have with us a great teacher. Dear Toastmasters, please give a big round of applause to welcome the chief guest of Reverbration 2013.
Professor K.B. Akhilesh.
Good evening to all of you. It's my pleasure to be with such young minds, great minds, talented people, and I'm amazed to see what development could mean, what transformation could mean, how Toastmasters Club has evolved and created such brilliance, such wonderful feelings, which has created in last few minutes, whatever I'm here. Thank you very much for giving me this chance to speak and say some few words before all of you. I thought chief guest is very formal kind of a speech for sure, but I was thinking, what is that really we are seeing in terms of this changing context? Very clearly, one of the things we are seeing is about the technology. How technology is affecting our thoughts, our actions, and we are trying to cope with. Technology and change is going together. Another, we are seeing technology and opportunities. The tension of technology, tension of opportunities. What is that I should become? Where do I go? Where do I succeed? And how do I develop myself to meet those challenges? The third kind of a thing is coming around the information. The way we are loaded with, overloaded with information. And also, how do I learn? How should we teach? So teaching and learning, and as I'm seeing the kind of talent, the kind of expressions, the kind of humor, the way they have conducted the show, as a teacher, always I think, how do I create new learning opportunities? What is that we should do? We are talking about outcome-based learning, outcome-based education in different ways. I think Toastmasters have shown how wonderful they can help people to perform better, excel in their own areas of work through developing that required confidence and put their thoughts, put their ideas together. And the whole team has put up such a nice show, but we really don't change so easily. That is where people use the word paradigms. The paradigms are very difficult to change. I think of, again, the part of that humor. One person hired a taxi driver, and the taxi driver was doing very well throughout the day. And later part, sitting at the back, he touched the driver and said, "You are doing very well." And because of that, immediately he went here and there and met with an accident. So immediately he was pretty disturbed. why did you do this? That taxi driver said, sir, please don't ask me. But he was insisting. What happened really? He said, no, sir, I'm driving this taxi only today. What is the problem? You look to be a very experienced person. Yes, sir, I'm driving the taxi, but I was driving only the van, but taxi only from today. But last 20 years I was driving the van. But taxi, van, what is the difference? All same. Though, but there must be some problem. But tell me what is the issue? Those are all 20 years I was driving the van with dead bodies. But today, when you touch me from the back, we are all fixed in our paradigms. We are all fixed with our habits. And this is an occasion to break out from all that. Be natural, enjoy this wonderful moments, and carry this good feelings, particularly the delegates from Sri Lanka and such a beautiful country. And enjoy Bangalore as well. Have a good time. Wish you all the best.